Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Vinland Saga. Last time around we had After Yule. Merry Christmas. Ragnar's dead. That's pretty much the long and short of it. Thorkel knows where Askeladd is, so he's on his way. And it's time for Askeladd's plan to manipulate Canute, and in order to do that, he has to kill Ragnar, so he killed Ragnar. And it was after a nice, lovely dinner between Ragnar, Canute, and Thorfinn. But before he died, Ragnar did impart to Askeladd that the Danish king, is trying to kill Canute, so that Harald will become king. So, yeah, problems. More wrinkles for Askeladd to deal with, so... But it was the death of Ragnar. It was sad, so... Yeah, that's pretty much that. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Vinland Saga. Here we go. Okay... Well, this is all falling apart. This is all falling apart. I mean, I don't know, man. You know, the thing too is like, it's kind of strange how much and how little our main character actually has investment in what's happening, because the only thing he cares about is killing Askeladd, you know? And if he didn't have that, he could leave this entire storyline and go home. You know? Like, to this day, like, he's not part of them. He always says he's not part of them. He has no investment in Thorkel. He has no investment in Canute, despite everything that I say. He could just, like, leave, and then that's just that. But... he obviously doesn't. I don't know, that's a weird thing. I've never seen that before, where the main character could just walk away and leave everything a part of the plot. And then that would be that, you know? Now, because even then, like, the only thing that has investment in Thorfinn is Thorkel. He's the only one. Nobody else, like, if Thorfinn left, I don't think Askeladd would really care, you know? I mean, he's a body he can't use, basically, but still, you know? But, like, Thorkel's the only one, like, Thorkel would track Thorfinn down to Iceland and, you know, attack him, but I don't know, it's just such an interesting thing, like, I feel like I've never really seen that before, where the main character just is practically just not part of the plotline at all, and is just sort of along for the ride, you know? That said, again, because the only thing he really has investment in is killing Askeladd, I assume he would try to make sure that Askeladd lives through this so that he can kill him, you know? He doesn't want all the boys to kill Askeladd, so maybe there's that. You know the thing, even if the boys, and I'm just going to call them all the boys, because that's what they are, basically. If the boys killed Askeladd and Thorfinn, and I guess Bjorn too, and then took Canute and offered him to Thorkel, I feel like Thorkel... I feel like Thorkel would take him, someone would go take the prince away, and then Thorkel would just kill them all, because he wants the fight, you know? Now, if the boys killed Thorfinn, Thorkel would be pissed, you know? I don't know. How are they gonna get out of this? I mean, they got the horses and they got the sled. They could outrun all of them, but... has Eir betrayed them? Has Eir betrayed him? I don't know. it is an interesting thing too of like, you know, when they're like, oh, don't call it a betrayal. It's like they don't really view it as a betrayal, just as a, you know, this is just how things go, you know? To them, it's just, well, it hasn't worked out, so we're gonna part ways now. So, it's just a matter of, are they gonna part the easy way or the hard way? So, that's really just that, you know? Yeah, so, I don't know how this is gonna go, where this is going, you know? It really is such a strange thing. It's like, I don't know how to think about this, like, because, I mean, we've got less than 10 episodes left of this season. I don't know where we're going in season 2. But it's a thing, like, I'm curious, like, I don't know, like, it's... Oh, it is kind of like that. Okay, I just realized, it's like, this kind of reminds me of a JoJo part. And I know that's kind of a weird comparison, and it's not a good comparison, really, but... You know how, like, in Part 5, especially Part 5, where Part 5 of JoJo has Giorno, and Giorno's great. But Giorno's not fully the main character, and anyone who's watched Part 5 knows that, you know? It's like, Giorno is technically the main character, but the plot itself is primarily driven by Bucciarati. And that is sort of the dynamic we have here, where the major plot is driven by Askeladd. He's pretty much the main character. But you do have Thorfinn, who is, you know, actually the main character, you know? Now, it's not a complete comparison, because Giorno is way more of a main character than Thorfinn is, but I don't know, it's just an interesting thing. It's like, for the past... I don't know, I want to say like 8-9 episodes, like Thorfinn really hasn't actively driven the plot. He's just been a part of it, you know? Like, this really did turn into the Askeladd show, and it's a strange thing. I like it, but it's weird. I don't know how to feel about this. So, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of what's happening in this story? The story of Askeladd and also Thorfinn is there too, you know? We have the beginning of the what I'm assuming is the hardening of Canute. I mean, look, I was kind of hoping you'd get hard for other reasons, but that's neither here nor there. Alright, I'll stop. But, yeah, we have the hardening of Canute, and that was interesting. I mean, just the slap across the face, that's like, that literally is just a, bam, now your character arc begins. And he's, a character arc. So, yeah. And it's such a shame because like when he's so shocked and he like falls over, it's like, just in my brain I'm just like expecting someone to go and like console him, but nobody's there to do that. Thorfinn certainly won't do it. None of them are going to do it. None of them are the consoling type. The priest isn't gonna do it. The only one who would have done it is Ragnar, and Ragnar's dead, so yeah, it really just is a thing of like, oh, he's alone. This poor kid. I don't know. I did like the history of the history of Britain, basically. And it's like, oh, the Celts lived here, and then the Romans came in. I love this whole like, yeah, the Romans were actually pretty cool, like, which I guess, like, let me think about, like. Yeah, because the Celts aren't the Gauls, because that's French. Like, Gaul was sort of that French-German area that Julius Caesar conquered. He literally wrote a book. You can go read his book about the Gaelic Wars, but that's not Celt. or the Britons, as I think the Romans referred to them as. So yeah, it's like there's the Celts, but I like this idea of like, yeah, the Romans came in and helped them and were like generally nice, and it's like, well, you don't really hear that too often. So it's like, oh, they lived, they lived alongside the Celts. Then the Romans left. Then the Anglo-Saxons came in. They weren't that nice. They weren't as nice as the Romans. And now the Danes are coming in to deal with the Anglo-Saxons. So that was an interesting thing. It's a thing of like, I do like how this references historical events, and even I'm pretty sure, the king is actually one of the kings of Denmark. I don't know any, like, outcome of this. Like, I can't, like, I don't want to, like, look anything up about this, like, time period, because, like, technically that's spoilers for Vinland Saga, So yeah. And then the deserters that Thorkel just completely destroyed. I do like how he says, like, oh, there's no point of, like, keeping them if they turn when things go south, So yeah, problems have arisen. So, I don't know. How are they going to get out of this? I guess we'll find out. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Vinland Saga reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.